Today we're going to be getting into some technical analysis for the SPY Qs, Apple, Tesla, Amazon, NVIDIA, AMD, and Meta going forward, looking at AMC and GME as well. Curling up on the 2 hour, the signal that we've been looking for, and boom, you see some positivity for a bounce come in. If we can go to positive territory, we're going to talk about all that stuff as we get into all of this technical analysis. And first of all, we just wanted to start off with the SPY, and I wanted you to notice one thing. If you compare these levels right here, this 550.57, the daily expected move for tomorrow, that's the upside. Then we have 542.17 to the downside. I just want you to pay attention because, today, I guess, technically today, I said, hey, this is a very thin range and therefore we're probably going to see low volume in a dead day. Hey, we see low volume in a dead day. Now, I did mention, hey, we can see something crazy because we noticed a bunch of stocks going outside of their weekly expected moves. That's why these are very, very helpful to have. You know how high up these are expected to go, and now you know there's a 68% chance for a drop for a lot of those stocks. So that's what we give out on Patreon. And Patreon, great time to join as the month is coming to a close. We will be updating you with those monthly expected moves, and we are outside of one for the SPY right now, and we might want to end up going down. But for now, I just wanted to point out the most probable move for tomorrow, according to the indicator, is this showed just a little hint of green at the end of the day. So this would tell me the higher probable move right now would be we're going into this little zone right here. This little zone can prove us some resistance to the upside, but that would be your bullish case. Then we want to immediately watch out for any kind of divergences that we see up in this level, okay? So we do get some data tomorrow, so we have to pay attention to both sides because on this channel, we trade like water. We just want to go with the flow. We're playing with momentum here. So we're not trying to call bottoms and tops all the time. We're just trying to say, hey, this is where I know that momentum is shifting down, and this is where I need to be in this play. And then right here, you're seeing, hey, momentum is shifting up. So that means the most probable move is up from here, but we get data, which can be a rock in the stream. So we want to see how the market reacts to that data. And therefore, we need to go over the bearish case as well. So on the SPY, the bearish case would be, hey, this hourly actually starts to curl over into negative territory. You'll notice like this little blip right here, we curled over and we were in negative territory. And you see it's it's pretty dramatic actually. Like that's a pretty dramatic move for what we've been doing lately. You know, these little drop-offs like this have been a little bit freaky and kind of trappy, honestly. So what do we want to notice here? Well, if the hourly does turn over, boom, negative territory can be there. We can head down to that that daily expected move, and you can use the top side as support. So and going into the last day of the month, really, we could end up back into this area, 68% chance of that. But we could also use it as some support to then head higher, make some kind of divergence. So I just want you to pay attention to multiple different scenarios and just be ready to react, trade like water. So for the Qs, you're paying attention to a very similar thing. Okay, this one here, hey, if the hourly curls over, okay, we need to pay attention to the daily. Then after that, if we break through, hey, we might need to pay attention to the weekly. And if we want to see something dramatic, well, maybe we end up back down in that monthly. I think that that's not the most probable thing in the world right now, just because your hourly is positive in positive territory. It has not rolled over yet. There's nothing negative about this yet, except for the fact that it's kind of trickling higher. It looks like that light volume, but the reason that you got to be bullish on it, 2 hour just curled up. Well, let's see what happened the last time there was a big pullback, right? Big pullback, and then the 2 hour crossed up and went positive. Okay, crossed up and went positive. What happened after that? Oh, a lot of buying pressure started to come in. So that can happen again from this level. And your indicator is telling you that the most probable move for going into the future right here is we're going to remain positive, right? We're going to remain positive in positive territory. Maybe we go up and we touch this level up here, right? Get in that box. That could prove to be some sellers because that's all the options market expects. So people will say, hey, this is good enough to take profit. Boom. Maybe we see a divergence right there. And guess what? That might be pretty close to negative territory, which tells me, hey, that could go into a negative trend. Just pay attention to that, okay? Now going into Apple, I just really wanted to show you guys how we're still around that weekly expected move right now. We're still right around that weekly expected move. We're actually above it just a little bit. The 2 hour is positive in positive territory. We can see something crazy outside of these weekly expected moves. So really pay attention to this one. Obviously, if the 2 hour rolls over, it's very close to negative, but it hasn't rolled over yet. So you have to pay attention to it. Going into a 30-minute, the reason I'm really mentioning like, hey, positivity, watch out, something big can happen from these weekly expected moves when you get outside of them. 32% of the time they do see something crazy happen. 68% of the time you land in the zone. Well, that zone is down here and we are above it and looking like we might want to curl up into positive territory. Now, is that going to be brief and we set up that divergence and then we look for this? This is the type of signal you really want to look for outside of these weekly expected moves. We talk about it in the course thoroughly. We talk about it on multiple time frames in multiple videos. And we teach you guys how to do all this stuff. Okay, so that course is only $100 until Sunday. So you have to get it by Sunday to get it for $100 before that price goes up. So I highly encourage you to try to learn some of this stuff over the weekend. Now, going into Tesla, what do we notice here? Similar thing, right? Similar thing. But the reason that Tesla could be limited to the upside is just because that 30-minute already getting into that overbought territory. So if it curled up, yeah, you can see a move. But this here might prove to be a little bit short-lived. We'll pay attention to this. Tesla is way outside of its move. It's already seeing one of those 32% things happen. It did build sideways for a little bit, so you can see a break higher. And we're going to have the daily expected moves posted to Patreon after this video. Okay, daily expected moves for Friday. We give those out on Patreon as well. It's only $7 a month to get all this info. And I think tomorrow it'll be really helpful as implied volatility for the SPY and Qs is significantly higher for tomorrow. Now looking at the 2-hour real quick, this thing needs a pullback. That's why I'm overall saying this could be short-lived. I'm not saying it can't go higher. It could be, daily momentum just taking over and we end up in this box, okay. But I'm just taking from a trader's perspective, I don't want to be chasing up here. I want this to move sideways or even dip down and then make some kind of structure that kind of convinces me like, hey, this can go up. And then the MACD is going to show me that right there. And then I'll be like, okay, the next move higher is coming. We see that right here, right? So if you look at the last time we went to a high, okay, then we finally dipped down. When we crossed back up in positive territory, positivity happened. It's a very easy swing trade. We're going to be making a swing trading course that's really, really cheap because swing trading is pretty simple. And the course that we have out there now, though, it really teaches you in depth about these indicators, but we're looking into a swing trading thing. So Tesla, be weary about that one. Amazon outside of its weekly expected move as well. Look, once again, don't want to be chasing or anything like that. So I want to see that base out and then curl back up, just like we did right here, right? We based out and then we curled back up and then boom, what happened right after that? Positivity, okay? We never crossed back down, just positivity the whole way. So very good move here from Amazon up to its weekly expected move. It's actually outside of it now. So we have to pay attention to that because we have a 68% chance that's going to come in, but we could see something crazy. If you're seeing this kind of move, most likely you won't see something absolutely crazy after you've already moved up this significant amount. But hey, anything's possible in the market, right? Some people ask me all the time, could this stock go up or down? I'm like, yes, because any stock has a probability of doing anything. The SPY, I always say, the SPY has a chance to go to 10 million by tomorrow. But it's a very low chance, right? That's how we talk about it. Everything's a probability, and that's why you got to manage your risk. Teach that in the course too. So looking at NVIDIA, this one here, just really trying to pile up here, really liking our zone that we made. Okay, we made this zone live, and I just said, a lot of the time when we break through, we like to touch the top of it before heading higher. The 2-hour just pretty flat, not able to go positive yet, but not rolling over, and that's a key thing. That's a very key thing. So I believe it was the hourly here that looked like, hey, this would be kind of your bearish case, curling down on the MACD into negative territory, and maybe, just maybe, we need to set up a stronger base before we move higher. Or if that doesn't form, we might be seeing something ugly. So what do we want to pay attention to? Well, that 2-hour going positive, the hourly rolling over in negative territory, and then also the 30-minute. You see us just hovering around the center line, very wonky behavior from the 30-minute. So we're looking for pretty much a breakout of some kind of structure here. We're pretty much looking at something like this and something like this, and we're saying, hey, we're coiling up, we're ready for a bigger move, and I think that bigger move comes tomorrow, and this thing will pick a direction. So really paying attention to if my 30-minute curls back up, goes positive with a strong move above, I would say, this 126.50 level. That's really what I'm paying attention to for NVIDIA, because the 2-hour just looking very flat. If that thing starts to go positive, okay, that means positivity, but for now, you're pretty much just consolidating at this level in the shorter time frames. AMD, this one finally giving you a little bit of a signal here. The 2-hour was able to curl up, but not on the best bar. So pay attention to your risk here, because if this 30-minute curls down, that's going to mean, hey, test the low, go make a new one. It doesn't mean we have to fully break down. We could still make some kind of divergences down here, but you guys know my divergences. I really like the first point to be kind of oversold, and that's not really oversold. So we could see a bigger drop here and not even create that divergence. So pay close attention to this turning down. That's kind of your bearish case. case. Then your bullish case is, hey, this green bar means something and we're going to break through this trend. So maybe you need those daily expected moves that we're going to put out on Patreon in a little bit. Now, Meta looking forward, this here looks like some big divergence to me now on the 2 hour. It really does. It just looks like some good divergence here, and we're just noticing it's going higher and higher and higher. And weirdly enough, I think they just had a lawsuit put against them. So very interesting to see that. And we're hitting weekly expected moves once again. So we're hitting weekly expected moves. We see the divergence here. It would not surprise me for this to roll over and go negative, honestly. But if I'm trying to say, hey, yeah, I want to be in this move. Okay, well, it's overbought and it's up here on the MACD. So you really need that to at least curl down. Curl back up, just like we did right here. Just like we did right here. This looked like a great pullback. Boom, that confirms some upside. Boom, and we just start to head higher. It's very, very good on the 30-minute. If you're looking for some kind of pullback here, that would make sense because you're well up into positive territory. A 30-minute pullback probably makes the most sense, and that is what the MACD is telling you it's in right now. It says, hey, I'm in a 30-minute pullback. If I curl up, more positivity can be there. I'd just be a little bit cautious with these moves as you're just hitting new all-time highs pretty much over and over and over again for all these stocks, but not necessarily for Meta right now. Okay, as we go into AMC, very, very key thing for AMC, not able to cross down on the 30-minute, very key thing. Okay, so this thing was not able to confirm more downside just yet. So maybe that happens early in the morning. We'll see. And if that curls back up, okay, positivity can be there. But if this curls over, then that says pullback and it says no reason for upside until that turns back up. Okay, so just pay attention to that with the 30-minute. We did a great job finding the support level for this way back in the day during the very big first pop. We just said, you know, someone asked for a support level. I said 437 looks very, very good, and boom, we touched that again. So solid 30-minute divergence here as well. If you were paying attention, hey, 30-minute divergence, you see that confirmation right here, and upside is there. So very good move for AMC. 2 hours still curling up, not positive yet, but still curling up. And the 2 hour remaining positive is probably the most important thing for AMC right now, besides curling up on the daily chart. But we're going to give you the daily expected moves for AMC and GME, which just tells you if you want something unexpected to happen, you want a short squeeze, you want a gamma squeeze to happen, you need those levels. Those levels will tell you exactly how high up the options market is expecting AMC to go. And if you start getting outside of that, well, then you just got to get outside of a 536. And if you get outside 536, something really unexpected could be happening for AMC. So we're going to go over the same thing with GME. We're going to give the same daily levels for GME over on Patreon, links in the description. But in order to really, really get bullish, really see some kind of gamma squeeze, you got to get above 27.79. That's just a very key level at this point. And the options market gives us that data. So thank you, options market. Thank you, market maker. Right here, what do we notice? Still in negative territory, but it's telling us that this was going to bounce. And guess what? It bounced. Okay, awesome. Now we have to go positive. That's a very key thing because we could just roll over here and create a divergence. We could just roll over and not create a divergence. That can easily happen. This is where the 30-minute was a little bit different. For GameStop compared to AMC, GameStop is actually telling you it's in a pullback right now. So it'll be interesting to see how this is happening as we're kind of getting this up and then sideways, up and then sideways. And you notice this is smaller. So the reason that I'm pointing out it's smaller and we're pulling back, GameStop actually did have a 15-minute divergence right here. You can see it right here. You see it right here. And that could lead us into negative territory to start that negative trend. But if we base out here and we curl up into positive territory, another big move can come. So just pay attention going on into tomorrow. As far as it goes, the main other thing I just wanted to show you guys was volatility. We were looking for these divergences. We were looking for the divergences all across the way to set up. And you're actually kind of seeing it now. Now, this ended up being wonky throughout the day, but you're seeing this triple divergence right now down by 1212, a level that we really like to pay attention to. This is where volatility gets some spikes. And you're kind of down by that level with a 30-minute triple, maybe even quadruple divergence at this point. But it looks like a triple divergence to me. And you'll see that on the RSI and MACD at the same time. So this tells me volatility can come back in right away. So be very careful with volatility. You got to pay attention to it because if volatility starts to pick up, we can see big swings up. but we can also see big swings down. So I just overall wanted to say thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. The main takeaway for this video really is just like, be on your toes. Tomorrow looks like we're going to see a little bit bigger swings. We might see more volume in the market, so pay attention and just make sure that you're trading like water. Really, really good tip there is just to be trading like water all the time. Try to make it so you're making profit, right? That's the only way to make money in the market, is to actually hit the sell button. And then at the same time, if you're looking for something crazy to happen, make sure you're paying attention to the right levels, because if we're going to see something crazy happen, well, then we have to go into unexpected territory. So thank you guys so much for watching, liking, subscribing. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot. And I hope you guys have all the luck in the world trading tomorrow. And I'm trying to think of what else. What else do I wish you guys? What else do I wish you guys? Oh, happy weekend. If you're not going to come see me in the morning for the live show, happy weekend. I hope you have a great weekend as well. All right. Peace.